And hey, look what they're going to do. They're going to do it again, and again, and again, and again.
What's up, guys? What's up, Sandstrom? Thank you so much for the 77 months, man. Holy moly, legend. Plus 4 MMR today. We will see. We're mostly just going to be experimenting with build orders, because literally everything has changed for Zerg when it comes to build orders now, so... that's the first thing I'm going to do, is try to figure out how we actually have to play the game. And also learn the new maps is something we also have to do. Actually, let's jump over to Asia server so we can play without ping while we're doing this. Yeah, I think you might actually like have to play pool first. That's my suspicion, at least. But we will do some testing. It's going to be hard to get your queen count up to a high enough like count so that you can actually defend stuff consistently. So it's like gonna be a lot more important to know exactly what's happening in the early game. Yeah, I mean, there's no way this is gonna stay. Like, I think Zerg is probably still busted, even though the early game kinda sucks. I don't think there's any way this is actually gonna stay like this for a long time, but I'm very surprised he just pushed it live like this. But we will try our best to book whatever we can. Kind of awkward the timing here with the extractor trick. I think it's still worth it though. Get this thrown out significantly faster. I think you float 3 larvae if you don't do it, so... let's try 16 pool. See how that feels in terms of how everything lines up. I think versus Protoss, you will also have to get a quick gas because of adepts. You kinda need to have link speed in time for the second adept now. It's gonna be hard to afford a queen here. It's gonna be very hard to afford a queen. I think we can make one more drone like this, we can do this. Maybe 17 pool, actually. Yeah, I think we have to do 70 bull. This is too awkward. It's kind of weird with 70 bull because you're floating 200 minnows for like a couple of seconds. So yeah. We also have to remember that we have to be able to afford the Overlord here. Honestly, like right now, if you don't want to be supply blocked. Can we afford the Queen now? 5 seconds? I don't think we can. This feels more smooth at least. Probably, these should probably be a pair of links, I think. And this should probably be an Overlord, maybe? Maybe next one can be Overlord. Maybe skip an inject here for sure. And this is okay, I guess. But I feel like the Reaper will still show up before the Queen is done, even with pull first. You still have such an insane amount of larva, maybe it just doesn't matter that the early game sucks. Like maybe you can play from behind because as long as you have a couple of hatcheries, you can do whatever you want, it feels like. Maybe we have to play like roaches or something. Be safe. It's gonna be hard to deal with like the random bullshit builders like, you know, BC openers and certain Hellbat builds. Stuff like that for sure. Yeah, the problem with this Protoss is they can still block your natural even if you go pull first. We have infinite larva. Okay. Alright, I wanna see if we can cook up a get pull first or gas first build order as well versus Protoss. Not really gas first, but... Anti-Protoss patch. I mean, it's just a Zerg patch, I think. I mean, and I don't think it's going to last very long either, to be honest. This does not feel very good. It's fine. Hard to avoid what you need here. Could potentially play Overload speed, I guess, but not the best for sure. By the way, I like how people were saying that the Zerg's early game was too weak in the PTR. And what they did is they butchered the Zerg's early game even more, and then they buffed they just buffed Zerg overall in mid game and late game and early game with the larva. But now you can't do like any openings because you don't have any money. So everything is so expensive. But Zerg is still correct in PTR, I think. Unless like we're gonna get super bullied. Super bullied. Because the economy just gets out of control so quickly. Honestly, like this did not feel great. This builder. What can we do? What's up, Infest Rex? Maybe we can do something like this. Try it. Run it. What's up, anything? We're patch again? No? Yeah, we're all patch circs now. Maybe we just do this and just delay the queen. Maybe that's the play, just delaying the queen. It's too expensive. Let's get the fast link speed going. Oh, this doesn't feel that good, to be honest. We're gonna float 3 larvae here if we do this. Not quite. Yeah, I mean, I think so for sure, because like they have to win the game in the early and mid game, I think. Because otherwise you're just gonna, or at least like take like a lot of control that stage of the game. Because otherwise Sergis is gonna spiral out of control too quickly. Could they pull first like this? I guess we have a very fast link speed. Problem is just like in this scenario, sure it kind of seems okay-ish, but in a real game versus Protoss, you will have your natural here. So it won't be feeling as good then. Because you have to make like 10 links.
진화 완료. 새로운 여왕 준비됨. 진화했음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Honestly though, who needs injecting in this patch? Just make the creep tumors. Feels so bad to make queens actually, this patch. Creep is nerfed, you don't really need injects, they're super expensive. It's gonna take some figuring out, like the early game especially, like how to be safe and stuff. Well, there will be a lot more tricky situations for sure. So the real question is just like how OP is the new larva, right? Like, is it enough to carry you even though you're technically behind in the early game compared to before? That's going to be the main question. All right, let's try to play some real games because we can test all we want, but we'll need to see. We need to have some actual opponents that pokes holes in our builds and stuff. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm fairly excited. Like, I think the patch isn't great overall, but this is the fun part, at least we get out of it. And then we'll have to wait and see how it feels like 2 months from now, right? You had to check tomorrow. Nice, nice. I'm going to Prague later this year. The Plesrud Lick? I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce your name, but Miss you on AV4. Hope SC2 is treating you well. I miss playing AV4 actually. Yeah, but I'm having fun with SC2 right now for sure. Megadeth. Megadeth. Insta leave. Okay. Please show graphic settings. There is a graphics command you can use. And I think the only difference there is I'm playing with medium terrain now compared to before. I think that's the only difference with that screenshot. I believe that screenshot has low terrain. And all that really does is make your creep a bit different. I think the creep looks a lot worse on low. That's why I changed it to medium. 300 hatch and 170 mineral queen got you pissed. I mean, it's weird for sure, but I think Zerg is probably still very strong in this patch. It's a big nerf to the early game, but the larva change is such a massive overall buff to Zerg. So it's just really a question about like how big of a nerf is this early game nerfs? Like, is the larva just so broken that you can just overcome being behind in the early game, right? That's the thing we have to figure out. Yeah, like if you look at it like just the hatchery and the queen changes and you compare it to old patch, it's a massive nerf, of course. But if you look at the larva change as well, I think it's like Zerg is overall stronger. Yeah, I'm also not exactly sure what their actual plans are, but you know, they pushed this to live after 2 days of testing, so I don't know if they have any plans. It just seems to be doing things. Holy, I should have done my Beatles before. Ah, my god, 4-play map. This is something I've really not missed in SC2. These 4-play maps. Why are we back to this, guys? It's like we're living in a advanced society with high technology, and then people are like, you know what? Why don't we just go back to living in caves and using rocks? That sounds like a good idea. Life was so much better back then. Okay. What's that means? We're in semi-rec 1 yet? No, not quite, not quite. Like now, if he's one-basing me, we're just kinda cooked. Because we won't know it until he's like in our base. Also no idea what's actually a high ground here or not. I need to like instantly veto this map, guys.
여왕 생성 성공.
Whereas I can't even go down here because of Reaper.
여왕 생성 성공. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단이 진화했음. 굴락지가 직접 공격 새로운 여왕. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 여왕 생성 성공. 천막 종양이 공격받고 있음.
Okay.
새로운 여왕. 받아들일 수. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 천막 종양이
What? It actually killed the queen, holy shit.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 진화 완료.
Okay, and we're very far ahead here. I'm not sure why we have a queen there.
받아들일 수 없는 명령임. 천막 종양이 공격받고 있음. 군단병이 공격받고 있음. 진화 완료. 왕맵 소진됨. 유전자 변형됨. 군단 변이 됨. 화물지대 말라버림.
GG. Bring back GG reward. I mean, it's still there, I think. You just can't use it with channel points anymore. I'm not sure if I'm gonna bring it back with channel points because it got spammed so much that got spammed so much. Patch is live on EU. I'm not sure on EU. It's live on Asia at least. System map with the tunnel on the edges? I don't think so. Maybe it is. Seems too easy. Like, if you don't take critical damage early on, and you get into a good position, third feels really good. For sure. The question is just like, can you get there consistently? Liberty build just bad? I mean, it's kind of bad. Like, I think in this patch, you want to play any build that punishes low queen counts, because there's no way you can actually have a high queen count in this patch. So, like, any Hellbat builds, BC openers, Banshee openers. But yeah, I'm in Korea right now. Looks kind of gamble to you? What looks gamble? In this game we had perfect scouting, like we saw everything, so... Gasless seems so much stronger. I disagree. The main thing that makes Gasless, like, good or playable is, Queens. But I really don't think making Queens is that good. But maybe you could be right, but... Yeah, I just don't see... But look, like, nothing has happened and we're up 40 supply, you know? I mean, he lost the Liberators and the Hellions, right? But... Not 40, but 30, right? Tunnels on the edge of the map. Oh, you mean these tunnels? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see. I see. Why do you feel like you can't make queens? Because they're expensive. They're very expensive. And the hatchery is also more expensive. Remember to read the maps? Yeah, thank you, thank you. I left one in gas after Ling speed. I probably should pull this guy out, I think. Yeah, I think leaving one is a mistake, probably. But then I think, yeah, now. So... Right before we hit full saturation here. I probably could have delayed it a little bit. Like, these 3 rounds could have gone to the natural, and I could have rallied this one and the next one into the gas, and it would have been fine still, I think. Yeah. 175 minimal queens with 300 hatchery is expensive, but... Larva go burr in this patch. Okay, let's do the maps. So... Not a 4-player map, not a 4-player map, not a 4-player map, 4-player map. Bam. Not a 4-player map, not a 4-player map, not a 4-player map, not a 4-player map, 4-player map, bam. Okay. Nice. Honestly though, I'd have to think about it, because if we're opening pool first every game anyways, like if that's just like the best way to play, then it's less bad playing 4-player maps. It still sucks because there's so many like random things that you won't scout early on that can just lose you the game. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think they've messed up big time with the Zerg changes. Personally. I think pulling hatch is better. And it's not that I think it's better. Like, economy-wise, hatch first is definitely better, right? It's just that with the more expensive hatch and the more expensive queens, it was already tight before to have, like, be able to defend the first Reaper, defend the first 2 Adepts. And that's just if they're playing standard, right? If they're doing anything more aggressive than that, it's already very tricky. So that's just my reasoning for that. But again, this is just a theory, right? This is not something I'm saying is set in stone and that I know for sure. It's just... In my head, it seems really, really difficult to be able to not lose the game to the first 2 Adepts if you play hatch first. And not fall behind versus the first Reaper. And then if they do anything more aggressive, then... Yeah. Can I play 144 game? Maybe later. If we're struggling to find games, we can try something like that. Now, since it's a new patch, I'm really excited to just try out builds in 1v1. This is the, in my opinion, like the main positive outcome of this patch is that we get this period of like a month or 2 to figure out the early game. Which is fun. It's very fun. But yeah, long term, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We will see. CVC. I mean, so here is kind of where like it can get weird. Because I think pool first, like something like a 9 pool or 10 pool could be super strong in this patch. So that would make pool first, just like a standard pool first opening, seem better. But then if they open hatch first, you're just very far behind as the pool first opener. This is... We'll have to try some stuff out, but TBC feels random to me now. The early game openers. We'll see. We'll try opening like 16 hatch or something and see if he does an early pull. We'll see. And this pull is very, very late. Very, very late. Yeah. Like my pool is just started. I mean, we're sacking this hatch for sure. There's just no way we can hold it, I think. Or maybe we can. Maybe we just pull drones. I get them so early. Yeah. It's too difficult to hold, I think. You have to buy like infinite amount of time. We're done.
새로운 여왕 준비됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 새로운 여왕 준비됨.
This is awkward because I kind of need to expand here. He has a third.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 변이 완료. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고
A
있음.
lot of queens. He has a lot of drones though. He played extremely greedy here and got away with it. We might have an upgrade advantage, but most likely not.
유전자 변형된 천막 중량이 공격받고 있어. 군단이 진화했음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 변이 완료. 공격받고 있음. 광맥 고갈됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광맥 소진됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광물 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광맥 소진됨.
Yeah, we're too far behind there, fortunately. He got away with so much greed in the early game. Like, if he actually just committed to a roach push, he was 100% dead. He just went like straight to 66 rounds.
군단 병력이 공격락지가 직접 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 유전자 군락지가 직접 공격받고 있음. 광맥 고갈됨.
We don't have lurker range, unfortunately. Yeah, it means that CBC is just gonna be a coin flip fest, probably. Where early pool speeds hatch first, which means pool before hatchery. Like, this is so greedy by him, like, holy shit. This roach one is not even finished yet. If I just actually commit to like a +1 roach in here, he's completely dead. He just flipped the coin completely. Got away with it. Yeah, like it's already 60 drones. We have an upgrade lead, but his economy is too big, so we have no way to actually capitalize on it. The only thing we could have done here is just like max out on Roach Rabbit and try to fight, but like he maxes out so much earlier than us. Like we're in the same situation now, but he's just he's still up like 12 workers. We had to end the game right here with 2-2. But this hurts. Yeah, I mean, I think early pulls just like hard counters hatch first, for sure. I think what he did was even a pretty bad early pull too. Like he's floating so much larva, this is super inefficient, but... I wonder if I can just let the hatchery die. Be fine. Maybe. Or like even just cancel the hatchery. I can't cancel the hatchery. But maybe I can let the hatchery die versus this. I think that's actually probably fine. This economy is so garbage. Just use the supply from the hatchery to start. Like just start on Overlord. Make a queen, make makelings. I mean, because he floats 3 larvae, like look how long he floats 3 larvae for. So from 11 seconds to like 35 seconds. Like 34 seconds. It's 23 seconds worth of larva floats, which is a lot of larva. It's 2 point something larva, right? 2.6 larva that he loses by doing this. Instead of doing like a, like he can do like a 10 pool and 11 pool, I think, and it's still the same. So this will be the hard part to judge, because like versus a 9 pool or a 10, 9, like 8 or 9 pool, you can definitely just sack your natural, I think. But versus a later pool, you probably need to pull drones. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, it might be back in CVC now. Just because of the queen and hatchery cost change. Maybe. Yeah, no worries, dude. Where am I from? I'm from Sweden, but I live in South Korea. Putting a drone for spine crawl any good? Probably not. It's not very good in the current batch, but I don't see why it would be better now. Like, the benefit you'll get from that is that it will take me longer to reclaim my natural if I give up my hatchery, right? But you're sacrificing so much to do the 9 pool already. Like, you're already so far behind in larva and economy. So it's something worth testing, I guess. Yeah, basically just what it does. Like, it doesn't really make your links any stronger or anything, or like the attack any stronger, but it makes it so I can't retake the natural right away, right? Which would be the main benefit for you. Okay. This is a brave CV.
여왕 생성 성공. 새로운 여왕 준비됨.
UX. The fuck? That's a very random move.
군단이 진화했음. 여왕 생성 성공. 새로운 여왕 준비됨. 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이
Fuck am I looking at here?
여왕 생성. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Surely it's going DC or something, right?
새로운 여왕 준비됨. 받아들일 수 없는 명. 여왕 생성. 변이 완료. 유전자 변형된 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 받아들일 수 없는 명령임.
Okay, I mean, this game seems pretty nice for us. Except I don't have retaining speed for some reason.
공격받고 있음.
It's the only thing that doesn't seem very nice. Actually, I think there's like no real reason not to hotkey infestors with your main army now. That you have an attack. was a mistake. I should have just done the fungal.
변이 완료. 진화 완. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광맥 소진됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 공격받고 있음. 광물지대. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 진화 완료. 광물 고갈됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광물지대 말라버림. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 지가 직접 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
No idea what this opening was. Like the 2 command center triple racks. Seems like a PvT build. Some either change good or not. I mean, they definitely feel more microable. For sure. Yeah. I mean, you're just... Like, CVT is not supposed to look like this. Like, Zerg is not supposed to be ahead 20 supply when playing Ling Main. Obviously, we were been far ahead in this game, but... Buff the Spore versus Buy. I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Because, like, when you have enough mutas to like start actually fighting spores, you still kill them very quickly. And if you don't have enough mutas to fight spores, you're not gonna fight them, you know. So it doesn't really matter. How do you inject in 1 second? No, you do it. Your queen's going on hatchery. Well, mine do too sometimes, but it's just practice. The way I have it set it up is so. Let's add this guy. Let's add this guy. I don't have any energy in my main queen right now, but we swap him out with this queen, I think. So we have queens with energy. So I have my queens on caps lock, and then I have camera keys, and then I have inject on B, so I use my thumb for the inject. And then you just actually messed it up because my camera keys weren't centered. Okay. Let's do this, and like that. So I tap caps lock and then yeah, you're near the patch. I mean, it's a very good Zerg patch, but I think overall it just doesn't really seem like they have any real plan or idea of what they're doing. They're just kinda doing random things. Yeah, that's how I do it. In the early game I do box injecting usually. But once I have my queens in position, let's inject queens and I just hotkey them. And then you can also, like, if you struggle with your queens running around, you can also just build a habit of tapping S after you've done your index, right? So let's wait for me to have injecting energy again. 2 seconds. That's also fine. Just do and tap S afterwards. So you stop, and then they won't move. But that's kind of a band-aid solution, but yeah. Doing injector minimap. When I first started playing StarCraft 2, I hotkeyed my queens individually per base. So I would do like 5-5, 6-6, 7-7 to like jump between the queens and then inject that way. Because that was what I was doing in Brood War. You know, like you would hotkey your hatcheries one by one. And then I swapped to hotkeying the hatcheries instead, individually. So I did 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, but instead of selecting queens directly, I selected the hatchery. Double click 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Yeah. I mean, how else would you jump to the hotkey? You could press 5 and then like Control F to focus on them, but no, it's you just do it fast. 5, 6, like it doesn't take long to swap between hotkeys. Okay. I have an idea in this matchup that I want to try. I'm not sure if it's good. I think this is a mistake for sure, because now we're gonna float 3 larvae. I should have done the overload before the extractor trick, for sure. There's no way to stop us from floating 3 larvae here. Oh, actually, it just barely lines up. A probe there.
새로운 여왕 준비됨.
Yeah, this is problem. Like even though I cut everything to get the fastest like link speed possible, I still like to struggle versus stuff like this. I need to cook something for the early game here. Something else other than this.
여왕 생성.
Yeah, this doesn't feel very good.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Holy shit, this guy is greedy. Like, what the fuck is this?
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 새로운 여왕 준비됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
This guy might be the greediest player I've ever played against. Like, moving up to the circus like this when you know I have a bunch of links. Holy shit, dude. Oh, I got a queen I forgot about, apparently.
여왕 생성. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군락지가 직접 공격받고 있음. 새로운 여왕 준비됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Probably like the greediest battle player I've ever seen, I think. Holy moly.
유전자 변형된 군단. 받아들일 수 없는 명령임. 굴라치가 직접 공격받고 있어. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 굴락치가 직접 공격받고 있음. 군단이 진화했. 천막 종양이 공격받고 있음. 광맥 소진됨. 받아들일 수 없는 명령임. 천막 종양이 공격받고 있음. 변. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있어. 굴라치가 직접 공격받고 있어. 적이 일벌레 공격 중. 유전자 진화 완료. 연결. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있어. 군단이 진화했음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 진화 완료. 광물지대 말라버림. 군단
The pathing on this map is so confusing.
광맥 고갈됨. 광맥 소진됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
This looks like a war prison. A shitty war prison.
공격받고 있음. 유전자 변형됨. 군단 변형됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단이 진화했음.
Kill these rocks.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광물지대 말라버림. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 진화 완료. 유전자 변형됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 소진됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 공격받고 있음.
Remaxing on Hydos here was a very not good decision.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 콜라치가 직접
So very brave by my opponent.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
I feel like my army is so small.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Oh, I can't get vision here.
광맥
Unfortunate.
소진됨. 콜라치가 직접 공격받고 있음.
Okay, I thought a sentinel was over here.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
That's very bad. I just lost like all my drones somehow.
광물지대 말라버림. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
That was extremely bad by me. Now we have no infestor energy, so we can't really fight. I feel like 3-3 Adrenalines should be able to do something. Shield batteries.
군단 SC2 반을 공격받고 있음. 변 완료. 군락지가 직접 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Yeah, I think we were doing fine until we lost like 40 drones to 3 zealots. No, the game is more complicated, for sure.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 유전자 변형 광맥 소진된 별이된 천막 광맥 고갈되고 있음. 군단 병력
Ah, I might drop this one up here.
병력이 공격받고 있음.
Yeah. That was not a good fight. And now we're too broke. We should have a massive bank here, really, but
물지대 말라버림.
don't really see how we can win the game now. This map is also extremely difficult, I think, in this situation, because it's so choked up everywhere.
병력이 공격받고 있음. 소진된 광맥 소진된 베스핀 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광맥 고갈됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 베스핀 가늘천 소진됨. 천막 중염이 공격받고 있어. 광물지대 말라버림. 베스핀 가늘천 고갈됨.
My units are doing here.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
But I need to start to be able to kill bases. That's the most important thing here.
일벌레가 공격받고 있어. 공격받고 있어. 난병적이 일벌레 공격 중. 광물 군단 병력이 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Here's my gas.
군단 병력이
This was not good.
공격받고 있음.
I'm not finding gas here. No, I'm not.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
That's actually very bad for us because we lost all our infestors and we have 0 gas right now.
공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광맥 소진됨. 광물지대 말라버린.
Been very sloppy here.
고갈된 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
fucking infinite storms, dude. Neurotic starts the raid. Welcome guys, we're playing on the new PTR. Or the new patch, I should say. PTR is gone.
광물지대 말라버림. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있어.
Oh, that's not good. We're down to our last mining base though. We have to stop this base from going up for sure. We kinda have to fight actually, because we broke. Need some overseers. Let's just go kill the main base. Let's kill this base actually.
말라버림. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 왕랩 소진됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 일벌레가 공격받고 있음. 베스핀 가늘천 소진됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
game is gonna get very, very weird.
여왕 생성 성공. 광물지대 말라버림. 광맥 고갈됨. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있어. 광맥 소진됨. 광맥 고갈됨. 광물지대 말라버림.
Yeah. This like this line is obviously a lot stronger in this patch. I'm surprised we won this game though. I mean, when Serg is very strong, we were just very far behind in the early game because he played like mass greed basically with his move outs. Played a new patch today. Not sure how to open in CBC. Yeah, CBC is tricky, I think. But yeah, it's very coin flippy, I think. In CVT and CVP, I think it's mostly fine to open pool first so far. But I'm still experimenting with that. In CVC though, it's like the very early pools are very bad, I think, but then it's just like 10 pool, 11 pool, 12 pool seems very strong versus hatch first. But yeah, the early game feels more gambly, but it could just be because we don't really know exactly how to defend everything yet. Yeah, that's something I pretty much did. I tried it this game, but obviously, like, this is still all very experimental. I honestly think the queens are not that high value early on anymore. They're too expensive. But yeah, it feels like you need sixlings, at least. It's like I'm going pool first, but obviously I cut the queen here. Maybe cutting the queen is not worth it. That's a good question, Kuvas. They didn't. They just They just said fuck it and shipped it. So here we are. No, I think what I should do here is just... Here I should just make the queen right now, I think. And then speed. Or speed and then queen. I think either is fine. But I ended up like starting speed and then spending this larva, which was bad. Instead of these 3 larvae, I should be making the queen and then spend the larva afterwards, I think. Those 6lings. No, I mean this was already core first, right? Yeah. And the Protoss doesn't know, right? They don't really force anything because the Protoss doesn't know what you're doing with the larva. And like at the point to decide, it's already too late, right? This is already like a good enough start for us, I think. I just could have had this queen like a solid 6 seconds faster or so, I think. And then it could have been over here. Probably should have split the links 3 and 3. Ended up losing 2 drones to this, which is not good. But still, the game just feels very comfortable because you always have larva. You're never larva starved, even if you have to cut queens. I forgot about this queen this game. This was a mess. That queen just sitting there the entire time. But yeah, this move out was insane by him. Like his oracles are harassing over here, and he moves out with all these stalkers before blink versus like mass circling. Because like if our links are here when he moves out, and we just trap these stalkers, the game just ends. Or like, yeah, at the very least we force a recall, but we kill like 3 or 4 stalkers before the recall goes off. Oh, my camera died, I think. There we go. Looks like it's still working. Find yourself not having money for queens? Yeah, I think that's just the case. But you don't necessarily need the queens as badly anymore. One second, guys. I need to look something up real quick. Alright, let's try again. Let's just look at this game real quick. So there was this point where like I lost all my economy to Celadron Mice, which is really bad. But I felt myself like not having a bank the entire game. Because of how the early game went. If I have a bigger bank, I can just spam static at these bases, but... Yeah. But like the new Microbar Shroud cast range is actually so nice, I think. Because you can, like before, your infestors would have to like walk into the storms to throw microbial. But now you can kind of keep them alive, which is very nice. And you also get it down faster, which means your ultras take less damage before it actually pops as well. So this Infestor Ultra style seems a lot stronger now. I almost feel like maybe I should go back into Lurkers here, just to force him back into Tempest. The problem with doing that is that it's really hard to then trade out the Lurkers efficiently, because you don't really want them once he has the Tempest. But like, we're trading efficiently versus Protoss in a 35-minute game. Just kinda pog. Oh my god. Holy shit. Protoss had money for Immortals, this looks different. I don't think so. I mean, if I had money for a Broodlord switch in the other game, it also looks different, right? Like, at some point he had a lot of Immortals before the first couple of big fights. I'm not sure why he made carriers here. This was a big troll from him, for sure. Yeah, this attack was quite greedy by him, but I wasn't. Yeah, he could have just gotten out of there. We should not really have gotten this fight. But obviously this fight was amazing for us. Yeah, I mean the biggest issue is that he has like a bunch of Stalkers in his army right now for him. Stalkers are useless at this point. Once I get to Remax. Like, Immortals are not that good versus... They obviously need them, and they're still good versus Ultras, but Shroud is very good versus the Immortals. Very, very good. They're actually busted in this patch. Yeah, if you don't fall super far behind in the early game, it feels like you just get out of control so quickly with the new larva. But the early game feels very bad. Feels very, very bad. But so far, it doesn't really doesn't really seem like it actually matters how bad the early game is. Maybe we can try an early pull. It's a pretty shitty map for it, but... Like a 12 pull, maybe. This doesn't seem like the most efficient way to do this. Probably just better to go Overlord instead of Extractor checking. Yeah, like outside of the 4-play maps, the new maps seem cool. So, left. Gains should be good. Is it worth it? Probably is, right? Let's do this. Wall. Might actually depower the gateway here though. Oh no, I have to wall. I'm not gonna lie, like, Zerg is pretty busted, but Protoss Tears is actually, like... They have no idea. They have no idea how privileged they've been the last, like, 4 years. Yeah, I don't know what this wall is. They've had such a free pass in this matchup for so long. Yeah, this was a 12 pull. They've such a free pass in this matchup for so long that where they like literally can't get punished no matter what mistakes they make. And now they have to actually do stuff correctly, like walling. Feels good. Feels good. But it's like, this is not gonna stay the way it is. Like, Sergus is busted right now, for sure. You guys enjoy Sergus after the patch? I wouldn't say... It's fun right now because it's new and it's different, but... I think overall the game is gonna be worse because of this patch, but... Maybe they'll cook up something else. No, I should have done the extractor trick here. For sure. We don't get lava capped. It's hard to enjoy it when you know it probably get patched. Or it just makes it you want to play CVC. Yeah. Definitely. You're actually supposed to go over there, actually. I wonder if just going like third hatch here instead of queens is actually better. I'm not gonna make the second queen at least. Trying core first again. I think it's honestly worth it just to make this.
여왕 생성 성공.
Not sure if I actually made the overload here. I did. Okay. So he's going core first, so he might actually have enough time here to
병력이 공격받고
really
있어.
bully us a little bit. Even though our speed is quite fast.
있음. 새로운 여왕 준비됐음.
No warp gate. Ah, dude.
굴락지가 직접 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 일벌레가 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
GG. GG. He lost because of the patch, guys. I mean, probably did, but this certainly didn't help. You know, this is actually... I know what I actually like the best about the warp gate change now. It's that the warp gate don't auto-transfer into warp gates anymore. So they forget to actually press the button to morph them into warp gate even when they have the money for it. I hated when they did that change. What was it, like 6 years ago? Where they just randomly made Protoss even easier to play. The fact that they actually have to click the gateway button now to morph the gateways. They actually have to play the game. It actually feels so nice. Yeah. I mean, I hope they balance the game sooner rather than later. For sure. I just really like seeing changes that makes Protoss actually harder to play. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Balance aside. I mean, that doesn't actually make the game easier. That's just a balance change to Atsu. Yeah, I'm gonna play one more game for today, guys. Like I said, I'm enjoying the like the new patch and just figuring stuff out and discovering things. But I'm not so sure if the patch is actually good for the game. Probably it's not. My go-to opening? It's still too early to say, really. Versus Terran, I'm favoring pool first openers. Just because the first Reaper is so fast. Versus Protoss, I've been favoring builds that open with a very quick speed. Because I feel like the Queens are not very useful. And, I mean, they're useful, but they're too expensive. So it kind of feels like you need a fast cling speed to be able to deal with the Adepts in the early game. Not end up too far behind. Yeah, no, I don't like that either. Power of Christ compels you. I'm against all of the like stuff that makes the game easier. Like the drop pickup thing as well, I'm also against. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I just think no caster should have it, you know. It's my take on it at least. Yeah, we don't really care if we can afford our queen here or not. We do not really care. I wonder if just going like 20 hatch and then overlord after the third hatch could be good with this opener. Okay. Actually, remember to scout here. This is probably not safe. You can probably see me from the high ground there.
새로운 여왕 준비됨. 진화 완료. 새로운 여왕 준비됨. 여왕 생성. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 새로운 여왕 준비됨. 정답 공격받고 있음. 군단이 진화했음. 진화 완료.
It's kinda nuts. Kinda nuts. If you don't get bullied in the early game. just have so much shit so quickly. Like, this is like... We skipped our queens for so long. We start one queen. But I honestly... I wanna see... I'm just gonna try from replay here. To see how this build would feel like if I do... like this. Like, what if we send this drone out to the third already? Might be a little bit late. That's okay. Make an overload here. Maybe not great. Maybe not great, because I can't afford my link speed right away. I still need one queen here to chase away the very first adept. So maybe this is not it. How did I do what? Yeah, like this would be fine if this queen was out already, because the first adept would be here, and if the queen isn't out by then, it gets very tricky. Yeah, so when you... like, when you want to leave the game, there's, instead of surrendering, there's an option to rewind, and you just press rewind. And then you get straight into the replay. And then you can just jump wherever you want to in the replay and just click this button here to take command. And then you select which player you want to take command of, and then you just are able to resume playing the game. That's quite useful when you want to like test something. You just be able to do this. Or even if you want to, let's say, go in and do some like practice drills, like spreading creep or injecting. It's also nice to be able to just load out a replay and just go straight in the situation you want to practice. What's up, Lackery? How goes the new patch? It's fun. It's fun. I don't think the patch overall is like super good for the game. I don't think the patch makes a lot of sense. They seem to just be like doing random things. But I'm having fun just because it's new and there's a lot of things to figure out. Yeah, I mean, the Zerg is not gonna stay broken. It's gonna get patched. The question is just how long, right? Is it going to be a week? Is it going to be 9 months? Or anything in between? Your guess is as good as mine when it comes to that. It really depends on, yeah, on Blizzard. We'll have to wait and see. Kind of bummed out Plus Lakem didn't get adjusted. Yeah, but there was some nice buffs, like the Microbial Shroud change and the reduced carapace cost change is actually quite nice in combination versus Protoss in the late game. Microbial Shroud is way easier to use and better to use in the sense that in the last patch, your infestors had to like walk into storms to throw their spells, basically, right? But in this patch, they don't have to walk into the storms to get their spells off. And you can also get the Shroud off from further away, which means that your Ultras will take less damage from whatever is shooting them before the Shroud goes down, right? Because the Shroud will come down at an earlier point in the fight. Also makes the Infestor is less vulnerable to stuff like feedback and getting sniped by Tempest and whatnot, right? So the Shroud change is quite nice for CVP late game. Like Ultra Infestor feels quite nice to play, I think. But I agree that it's like not a fun or interactive or good thing when Protoss is just sitting there and making static defense in Tempest. But it does feel like you're slightly better equipped to deal with it in this patch. Not saying it's necessarily Zerg favor or anything in late game, just that it feels nicer than last patch. Did I try to hotkey my tumors yet? I tried it a little bit, but the thing is like you still need to like look around at all the tumors, right? And there's like no good way to jump between the tumors. So let's say once you have like 4 active tumors, you still need to jump between the tumors. And at that point, like it takes so little time to just do box click, box click, box click, right? That it's yeah. I mean, I would say Coconut if I could. The problem I have right now is I literally don't have any available hotkeys. I do in the early game, but as soon as I'm into the mid game, I don't have those hotkeys available anymore, and then yeah, it would get messy. If they would add extra control groups, like if you could get like 5 extra control groups, that would be pog. Because I already don't have enough hotkeys to like put my Evos on a separate hotkey, put my Nidus on a separate hotkey. So what I do right now is my Evos goes with my hatcheries, and my Nidus goes replaces my queen control group, and I add all my queens to one control group. So I usually have one with inject queens and one with creep spread queens, right? So yeah, if they added more control groups, I would be all for that. You put your Evos under the inject queens hotkey. Yeah, the only problem with that is like it might mess with when you're like double tapping to select them if you're pulling them to fight stuff, right? If you're pulling them to deal with a Liberator or with a War Prism or something like that, right? And then you double tap to them, they might jump to the Evo chambers instead. Depending on where you're looking. How do you have every hotkey taken up when there's Grandmaster Zergs that use 2 with F2? Because getting to Grandmaster you can do by basically doing anything. And doing it well enough. There's a big difference between Grandmaster and top of Grandmaster on pro level. And I think Zerg is, especially in the late game, it's pretty much impossible to play without a lot of control groups. There's Guru. Yeah, but Guru hasn't really been, you know, a content or a threat in tournaments for many, many years. Like, the difference between low GM and like high GM / pro level is bigger than the difference between like GM and platinum. Maybe even gold, but probably platinum is probably something that sounds more reasonable. But yeah, alright guys, a bit of a short stream today, but I'm actually very excited to keep testing stuff. I am going to be back again tomorrow, and tomorrow I plan on doing a much longer stream. Actually, I might not be able to do a long stream tomorrow because I have some things I have to do. I will let you guys know. But I will be streaming tomorrow either way. Just a question of how long I will be streaming tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Guru's not really pro level. He's still peppered AK. Yeah, I mean, I would be happy to have, if you remind me Sacred Coconut, I would be happy to have a discussion about this stuff. Because I have a lot of things to say about it, but I really gotta go right now. I'm meeting a laser for dinner in 30 minutes, and if I don't go now, I'm gonna be late, so. I am gonna read up State SC2. Thank you for watching, guys. Remember to follow. Do you see when I go live next time? And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.